Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the doctor here, Don Zulu in Taos, New Mexico.
And I'm Artie Nathan, the HR guy here in the Adirondack Mountains. And our topic today is leaders need both resilience and compassion.
That's
What do you
something,
think of that, Doc?
yeah, that's something we've talked about throughout this series a great deal. But here we're going to knit it together and say that's why these two things have to be bonded together. You can't just be empathetic or just be resilient. In fact, resilience is built really on the base of compassion. So, you
You
know,
know, we read an article recently that mentioned a term that was new to me. It was called a contempt attack. What is that?
well, we both experience in our lives, everyone's experienced in our lives, the experience of sort of contempt for someone doing something, and it comes on kind of like a panic attack, boom, out of nowhere. And it's kind of crippling, isn't it? It takes over, it kind of takes you over completely. And if you don't watch it, you can just focus on your contempt and you really will screw up the situation.
And the article went on to say that contempt attacks
Hmm.
happen more often during times of crisis or uncertainty or high stress. I wonder why.
Well, uh, in times of high stress, everybody's strung out. Everybody, you, the people that are working for you, the world at large, and so it tends to shorten and sort of ossify your ability to respond productively and thoughtfully to situations. We can fire off right away because we're feeling tension that gets what's called displaced onto other people.
That's interesting. So I guess like most things like this, like a panic attack or now a contempt attack, there's ways around it and things that you as a leader should do. What's one of them?
Well, one of them is to, uh, well, if you're a really strong and resilient leader in normal times, you want to recognize that you're an unusual and don't judge other people, based on yourself. Here's the big mistake that a lot of folks, not just leaders, can make, is the belief, usually under stress, without thinking about it, that the other person should be like me, should think like me, should act like me, should understand the world like me. And therefore, I don't even have to talk to them, right? We've seen that in all sorts of situations, right? Remember the song in the old movie about My Fair Lady, where I forgot who the guy was. He sang a song. Why can't a woman be more like a man? Well,
Yeah, I
you
do.
know, here a manager singing, "Why can't this dolt be more like me?" And it really is dysfunctional.
And so it really takes empathy or reaching out to understand the other person, to make that extra effort to be kind, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
got to walk over that bridge to where the other person is and see the world from their point of view and then help them to see yours. You just can't react to who they are. You've got to get past that a little bit so you can understand what they're really saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like the simple rule of lots of things that we talk about. If you get into this contempt attack, well, stop the action and maybe think about three things that you admire about that person. So it helps you to start to reframe your emotion and your reality, right? And if you can't come up with anything, you're probably too stressed to think straight. So sit down, take a walk, come back. Right?
And then I guess you have to ask yourself, who do I want to be right now?
Yeah.
Do I want to be an overbearing boss or do I want to be an empathetic person? And what does that all mean in terms of this interaction and my relationship with this person?
Yeah. So a good question, just to take a lead on what you just said, is, am I living my values?
Yeah.
Am I living my values? And more often than not, when you're in a contempt attack, you're not. And most people are, if they ask that question to themselves, they're honest enough to say, no, you know what, I'm not. Oof.
This is just one more issue that seems to come up during this crisis because, like we said, of the stress and all the stuff that's going on. So stop a moment when you feel this kind of thing coming on and ask yourself these questions and get back to dealing with the person as they are and what they're really saying.
Exactly. That's very good. And so that's it for today. But think about it and just pay attention to your own behavior in those stressful situations. So thanks for being here.
Bye bye.